With the descriptions of the Matrix Resurrections trailer, the idea of multiple simulations in the Matrix resurfaced. Although the franchise showed us the main simulation known as the Matrix, there are also more than 10 simulations that coexist with the Matrix. In this video, we're going to be discussing all the simulations in the Matrix universe, from a paradise, a simulation of feudal Japan, to a simulation created to brainwash robots. Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
The main simulations are those that were mentioned by the architect, 2 Matrix betas, and the 6 simulations with the appearance of the anomaly, though there could be much more. The first beta Matrix was the Paradise, described by Smith and the architect as a perfect world.
Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world where none suffered, where everyone would be happy? It was a disaster.
The first Matrix I designed was quite naturally perfect. It was a work of art, flawless, sublime, a triumph equaled only by its monumental failure.
It was heaven on earth, but unconvincing. Everything was too perfect, and the humans did not fall for the facade. Characters like Seraph, Persephone, and the Merovingian came from this simulation. Next, there is the Nightmare. In this simulation, there were all kinds of horrors, historical and fictional. Several of the Merovingian's minions came from this simulation, such as the twins and the werewolves. This simulation was an even bigger disaster because there was no hope. It was hell on earth, a nightmare that people desperately wanted to wake up from. The following 6 simulations were more similar to the real world. Humans were given the option of choosing how they wanted to live, and said simulations would last about 100 years each. This simulation takes place at the peak of human civilization, before the creation of the first true AI. These 6 simulations are relatively similar to each other. Moving away from these official simulations, we first have Mobile Ave, a simulation created with a different language than the Matrix. It is a bridge between the Matrix and Machine City, built by the Trainman. We know that this construct is different from the Matrix because Neo had no powers within it. Like the Matrix and other simulations that we will talk about later, it had basic rules that mimicked reality, such as gravity, habitability, and interaction between residual self-images. Next on the list is the construct. This is the equivalent of a video game menu or online lobby. It is an empty canvas that serves to load other simulations and programs. It was the first simulation Neo entered after awakening from the Matrix.
This is the construct. It's our loading program. We can load anything from clothing to equipment, weapons, training simulations, anything we need.
The construct is used by the Red Pills for training and to sneak into the Matrix with weapons, armaments, vehicles, and other useful items. It is a versatile simulation. It is also used as a virtual command center in Zion. Now that we have mentioned the construct, we have to talk about the simulations we have seen loaded inside it. The most famous simulation is the jumping test, a basic simulation with multiple tall buildings and gravity. Its purpose is for the new Red Pills to learn to bend the rules of the Matrix by jumping long distances. It's intended for them to free their minds, forget the laws of physics, and accept that the Matrix is not real. Everyone fails this test on the first try, including Neo. The solid ground in this training simulation is changed into something more malleable to prevent the falling Red Pill from turning into roadkill. It is also a simulation designed to explain to the Red Pills the risks of dying in the Matrix. The next simulation used in the construct is the Woman in Red. This simulation was created to make the Red Pills understand that all humans connected in the Matrix can be a distraction that can kill them. It is also used to explain what an agent is. There is another unsavory use for this simulation. Mouse uses it to offer intimate interactions with a woman in red. The next training simulation takes place in Japan during the days of the samurai. This simulation was used by Trinity and Ghost for training in Enter the Matrix.
Come on, Trent, make me.
Ghost, can I ask you a serious question?
Of course.
Do you believe that Neo is going to end the war?
Yes, I do.
So do I. But I can't explain how or why.
In the path of Neo, Neo also used this samurai program, and it was again seen in the episode of the Animatrix titled Program. For Ghost and Trinity, this simulation functioned as a battle arena for the Red Pills to spar. When Neo used it, it was a place to train his sword techniques. For Sis, the Animatrix Red Pill, the simulation was a place where she sought to measure loyalty to the Red Pills. The simulation not only works to physically train the Red Pills, but also works as a spiritual and psychological testing ground. In the Matrix comic I Can't, a training simulation similar to the Matrix, where programs resembling and mimicking other Matrix characters was used. It was a training exercise led by Morpheus. The simulation sought to imitate real dangers in the Matrix. The character who was subjected to this training was Kid. The construct is used to create simulations of events from the past, present, and also future. In Matrix Revolutions, Locke mentioned that they ran simulations analyzing all possible strategies and outcomes of the Sentinel invasion in Zion.
Every simulation we've run, we've seen that once the machines are inside the city, the odds of our survival decrease dramatically.
The construct is the Red Pill's most powerful weapon in their arsenal for this reason. There are many other simulations used in the construct seen in the Path of Neo video game, but they aren't noteworthy. Now, just as the Red Pills have the construct to train new Resistance members, the machines have their own training simulations. In the Matrix comic Goliath, the Earth was being attacked by aliens, so the machines had a human pilot go through various war simulations to train him to defend the planet. After defeating the alien threat, in the last minutes of the pilot's life, the machines compensated him by connecting him to a simulation of his choosing. And the last simulation we will be talking about is one that exists in another Animatrix episode, Matriculated. This simulation was created by humans to reprogram captured machines and make them fight for the humans. This simulation is very important because it demonstrates how humans are capable of doing to machines what they do to humans, leading us to wonder if humans were responsible for the use of simulations. We know that many of you are waiting for us to mention Zion as a simulation, but so far there is no confirmation that it is, beyond some interesting theories. Apart from these simulations, there could be others, other simulations created by programs like the Train Man. There are also the simulations that were shown in Matrix Online. When thinking about the Matrix, people only remember the one simulation. However, we've realized that it is difficult to count all the simulations that have existed. More simulations could be shown in Matrix 4. Neo and Trinity may be in a different simulation from those shown in the past. But do you agree? Which simulation did you like the most? Did you know that there were so many different simulations? For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.